Phones. I think I got that.
Hello out there in Streamland. We are live and ready to go. Running a little bit later tonight, so um, if you want to come join us, you're welcome to. Sundays at 5:30. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So we have with us a bunch of new people. If you've watched the other stream, you'll notice these are not the normal players, or rather, they are the normal players, but we have a couple extra as well. So we're starting a brand new campaign, new characters, new everything. It should be awesome. So let's go ahead and I want to make sure the sound is going well, and let's start um, with Jingo. If you want to tell us in 2 minutes or less who you are, and can we find you anywhere else? If we want to see anything, do you?
Absolutely. Right now, I do stream Starfinder as well on Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, every Sunday over at Jingo the Fool, Twitch TV.Jingo the Fool. I can also be found on Twitter and Facebook under the same name, and in Discord if you're looking for me. Um,
Nice.
I'm also in a few other people's stream games, but I don't know the exact, links. I know that I'm in Drake's game. I'm in a friend of mine, Zombie Chemist's game. I play in a lot of games.
Evidently.
Awesome. So that is
Yeah.
Jingo. He's one of the new players, obviously, and then we also have Kita joining us. Um, my tablet is not being friendly to me, so give me just a moment, guys. Aha. Can you? Hello, testing, testing, testing. All right, so I can be heard on stream. So, Reno, since I did not have a chance to add your character's name, why don't you tell us your character's name, race, and class?
My character's name is Orindor. He is a technomancer. He's a halfling. He is basically looks like a human being, but just kind of shrunk down to about 3.5 feet maybe. Um, and technomancer basically is a combination of technology and magic, where the magic is augmented by technology and technology is augmented by the magic. Should you
Alrighty,
ask?
awesome. And Roberta.
Talking about just anything. Hi, I'm Roberta, Mr. Sven's other half.
You're cutting in and
I
out.
am
Um,
playing a character.
I was
You
hearing
want
her
me to
fine.
start over?
There you go. I was hearing it fine, so could be hit on his end.
So I'm
Go ahead.
playing. Okay, I'm playing a character named Twitch, Bolita, and I equate him to a big giant earwig. It's gonna be really cool and fun to play.
Fun.
Bounty hunter. So I'm kind of excited. A little bit different than some of the other characters I like to play. This one's going to be more in your face and melee style rather than held back and just spell casting from afar. So a little bit different
Nice.
for me. Don't find me anywhere else on stream. Sunday nights is where it's at for me.
There you go.
all right, and Bobby, what is your character name, race, and class?
Why the hell? pronouncing this correctly, Patra. They're a cat. He's also a technomancer, and his name's Loki.
Yeah.
All right, and Django, what is your character name and race and class?
8.
He looks pretty awesome.
All right, and Django, what is your character's name and race and class?
I am Dr. Dade. I am a human biohacker, sort of an unlicensed doctor. I like to experiment with pharmacology, and you know, I'll invite you to take a drink from my magic cup at some point.
Very nice. All
So you'll
right.
take a
All right, and Kita is back. Um, so go ahead and looks like you disconnected from Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, it still says acquiring file list.
Oh, then it's connecting.
All right. Go ahead and exit out and come back in because I don't show you connecting on my end. And tell us who your character's name, your character's name is, and your race.
I can't remember the name of the race, but my character's name is Amika, and she is a monkey person.
piece.
Yeah,
So
she's
they are
very
called
awesome. She's like 6.5 feet tall. Isn't it Marakai? Is that how it's pronounced?
Marikoi.
Marakai.
correct Markoi.
Wow, she looks pretty badass.
All right, folks. So I do apologize. All my pre-testing was for naught. Looks like my screen capture is being silly. So let's try one more thing.
Roberta, your character's name is Twitch, correct?
And I totally forgot when I was naming my character that we stream on Twitch.
All good. Twitch is a cool name.
I had a character in my first game. He was a technomancer android. His name was Twitch as well. So there's a long tradition of Twitches.
Okay.
Yeah. Great name.
Company.
Okay, so apparently I needed to do an update, and that's why it's not letting me do it. So I'm gonna do the update.
Okay, awesome. So I believe we are now finally ready to go. Looks like yes. Woohoo! All right, so
Loki.
there it is. We are in Starfinder. For those of you who are not familiar with the background, um, really quick, I'm going to combine about 9 pages of text into a couple sentences. There was a planet called Galarian that was the third planet from the sun, similar to Earth. And there was that's where all of your fantasy races came from, uh, like you dwarves, elves, uh, humans, all came from Galarian. Then there was a universe, galaxy, plane of existence wide thing that happened called the Gap. And everybody woke up from this gap with people were married, had children. They knew who their spouses and their children were, their names and things. They knew their jobs and their skills, but they had no recollection of what happened during this time period before they woke up. They don't remember how they met their spouse. They don't remember their relationships. Even the creatures that lived through the gap, there are some dragons and some other ancient creatures that live hundreds and hundreds of years, don't remember what happened during that time period. They don't even know how long the time period was. Since the gap, it has been just over 300 years. Right now we're at about 312 post gap. And there was during that, one of the major things that happened during the gap was that Galarian disappeared. The entire planet is just gone. In its place is this thing called Absalom Station. Absalom Station is this huge space station, and the only thing from Galarian that carried over into Absalom Station is what's called the Soul Stone, which allows people, when they travel, to come back directly to Absalom Station. And the way they travel these days is called the drift. So if you think of hyperspace from Star Wars or the um, warp travel in Star Trek, you go into this alternate plane, and in a random amount of time, you then show up on the other side of the universe. And that's called the drift. And the way that you travel through the drift is you find these, you're going through these beacons. And the strongest and the most powerful beacon is the one in Absalom Station. It's called the Soul Stone. So no matter where you are in a drift, you can find your way back to Absalom Station. So that is the setting where we are right now. Established in about 50 post gap was this company called Midnight Core. All of your characters are familiar with Midnight Core. Pretty much anybody in the Packed Worlds, which is what you see on your screen right now, is familiar with Midnight Core. If you ever need anything done that you don't want to do yourself, you contact Midnight Core. Throughout your lifetime,
Okay.
you manage to see advertisements for Midnight Core on billboards, in print journalism, on screens, computers, pop-ups, all over the place. You see ads, and they vary. Everything from, if you're on Abalon, they're talking about doing things for
Is
your
that
computer,
for
building your things. If you're on Eox, they talk about getting rid of those pesky living creatures that are bothering you. If you're on Bertheta, or one of the 15 moons of Bertheta, they talk about doing your dirty work for you. So everything from simple house cleaning to kidnapping to rescuing people who are kidnapped, anything you can possibly think of, there's more than 1,000 entries in the Midnight Core database for jobs and their prices, depending on how fast you want it done, and where it is comparative to you. Every major planet has at least one, if not multiple, recruiting centers for and offices for the Midnight Corps. So all of your characters have determined that the Midnight Corps is the way you want to go for the time being. It can definitely be a career, a very lucrative career if you excel at it.
Okay.
A good place to earn a quick buck.
It's also a good place to earn a quick buck. Absolutely. So you can some people everybody pretty much starts as a mercenary, which is what you guys are. And ground level, you're starting off walking through the doors of the recruiting station, and then they move up. You can one day be a major contender within the Midnight Corps, making quite a few hundreds of thousands of credits annually. So it really just depends on how far you want to go in the Midnight Corps. It's up to you.
Okay.
It is beyond a mega corporation. So, like something of this size and structure, it itself is not evil. It's just a thing of power. So it can be abused, it can be used for good, it can be used for evil. Really just depends on the individual within and each little section within Midnight Corps and how they're used at the time. So they have a very neutral reputation throughout the planet. Everybody you talk to will have a different view. Some people have been hurt by Midnight Corps. Many of them have been helped by Midnight Corps. So it's just there. All right, and so Kita, how are we doing on Fantasy Grounds?
It brought me back to the old-fashioned fantasy grounds, not the Star.
Okay, so there's two different symbols. Um, you want the one that has a white center. The other one looks like a big die. The other one has Fantasy Grounds and a white center. That's the one you want. Does that make sense?
Yes. It's just taking forever.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start. Um, we're going to go with Jingo. For those of you, there we go. All right, so and I apologize to my players. I'm a little bit disjointed tonight. Got 400 things going on.
Oh,
Getting
no.
a lot, I'm getting a lot of dropouts
Sound-wise, you're saying?
from you,
Okay.
Sven.
Yeah,
No,
he's
sometimes
dropping
Just
out
being
Discord
for
just
me
likes to be
too.
difficult.
All right, so I'll try to keep my preaching to a minimum then. So we're going to start with the doctor.
Yeah, I'm getting almost nothing from you.
Okay, so we're going to start with the doctor. So you were actually approached.
Okay.
You were roboting
Yeah,
pretty
it
bad
wasn't
there
me.
for a minute on Discord.
All right, how about now? Is it sounding a little bit better now? Where's Discord? Okay, is that any better?
That is much better.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to start with the doctor. So you were actually approached. You may have been approached a couple months ago, or even a year ago or so, by the Midnight Corps, saying that they need medical professionals to go on their join one of their teams. You may not have been interested at the time, but now you're at a point where this is something that you're interested in doing.
I need money.
So as you
I have a daughter I'm putting through college.
very nice.
There you
So
go.
the recruiter welcomes you in, finds your information on thing. Well, glad that you've decided to follow up with us. Welcome, welcome. Uh, come, and he takes you toward in one of a small room in the back, and set within the wall is just a screen. So there's no way to access the computer. There's no way. It's just a touch screen computer,
Okay.
and on the screen it says MCET. Come, have a seat. Take your time. This is the MCAT. I'm sure you've heard about the Midnight Corps entry test. It's broken up into a series of sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
8 different sections. Just do your best. There's no right or wrong answers. Well, actually, there are some wrong answers, but it's simply just a test to determine your skill level and where it's best to put you.
I'll smile at him and sit down and go through the test as quickly as possible.
So what I would like from you is 2 computer checks. Twitch. So you are on. What is your homeworld again?
Oh, dude, forgot. Let me move my thing out of the way.
Akaton.
Homeworld.
Akaton, I think.
All right, so you're on Akaton. It's a dry, mostly desert planet, mostly uninhabited except for those trying to drain the resources from it. Lots of dwarves, lots of mining facilities, and a few colonies of Bolita. 24. And there is a Bolita representative in the office you're in. So as you come into the office, welcome. So I understand you are interested in Midnight Corps. Absolutely, come. And he sort of leads you toward the back, and there's a screen there. It says MCET in Bolita. This is a Midnight Corps entry test. Don't worry. Just do your best, and I'll be back when you're finished. And I also need 2 computer checks from you, please.
All right.
It's supposed to be a tower in this or not?
I don't think I had the tower turned on just yet. I'm not worried about that right now. I don't see one.
I don't know.
Oh, good. I thought I was
make
losing my mind earlier.
All right, and so Orindor, what is your homeworld? 15 and 12.
My homeworld is Epsilon Station.
So Absalom Station has a couple different offices. One down in the spire, which is down below. and then one up in the fancies part where the dome is, where the high rise,
Remember,
the more reputable people
so,
are.
Mhm.
And so, Oren, as you go in there,
that's
you see a female android. Welcome. Come. I understand you wish to be part of the Midnight Corps.
I do.
There are many people who wish to join, so let's test your skills first. Lead you to a back room with a screen embedded in the wall. It says MCET, and she says, please take your time, answer the questions to the best of your ability, and I will return. I need 2 computer checks from you, please. All right, and then Loki. So you are, what is your homeworld?
Hi guys.
Oh.
Sorry. Squirrel moment.
Orndor 25 and 9.
Good night,
Okay,
guys. Good night.
15,
your character up again.
12.
so it doesn't matter. Just pick a world at random.
It should be in your notes.
As long as nope. Okay.
It is not. Okay.
No.
So yeah, you are. Most of your race, I believe, are from Bertheta. So one of the moons of Bertheta, or you can be from Absalom Station, your choice.
Let's go with the other place.
All right, so we'll say Bertheta for now. Whoever your game master is, he failed at giving you languages and a homeworld. So he'll have to fix that later. So go ahead and give me 2 computer checks, please. Son of a bitch. All right, so as you guys finish up the computer section, you then starts asking you questions about when you're in the presence of a Kasatha, what is the purpose of their mask? And which hand of their 4 hands do you shake? And things like that. So go ahead and all of you please give me a culture check. 2 culture checks. Loki's 21, 23. No, Loki's fucking Bobby. Doc is 11 and 21. Orndor is 5. 19. All right, well, Orndor, you're all over the place. Really high and then really low. Pretty cool. All right, so then the next one that pops up is a series of tests and series of questions on spaceship operations and plumbing and other engineering questions. So go ahead and give me 2 engineering checks, please.
I feel good about this one. Okay. This one's going to be good.
Loki is 15.
There we go. What I'm talking about.
Nice.
Ron is 25.
What happened? What I hit?
10.
Hey,
Doc.
I hit break. I rolled the wrong one.
17. 20.
The third one was a mistake.
Gotcha.
Hit 21. Hit 25.
All right. And now it starts asking you different questions about how many genders does it take for a Mirakoi to reproduce? And how many genders do Belita have? So life science. I need 2 life science checks from everybody. And for those of you who are curious, it takes 7 different genders for the Mirakoi to have a child, and the Bolita do not have gender.
17.
Loki is 17. 17. Wow, Loki locking in on 17 with his checks.
Nice.
28 and 29. And shockingly, Doc just crushing it.
It's the one that got the good dice. The special loaded one.
Yeah, remind me to send you my dice hack extension after the game. Works really well.
Orndor 17 and 16. All right, and then the next question is, what are the 4 steps when a human is not breathing? And how do you perform pulmonary resuscitation on a gray?
Oh,
Mike.
what
Medicine
is
check.
that?
Okay. Okay. It's weird because you and I, we were doing it before, but okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So, correct. We do not have Kita on camera tonight, so we'll work on that for next time. Um, all right. So once your Starfinder comes up, go ahead and grab a character. That way, I'll know that you are ready to go. And Roberta, if you would have Twitch give me a couple cultures and a couple engineerings. 2 cultures and 2 engineerings, please. 16, 4, 16, 4, 20. All right. And Kita, can you hear us? All right, so Amika goes into the office of the Midnight Corps recruiting office, and a tall male Marikoi stands up and greets you and, well, thank you for coming in and expressing an interest in the Midnight Corps. If you would follow me. And he takes you to the back, and there's a room with a screen embedded in the wall. Come, take the test, take your time, and I will be back when you are finished. So it's a series of tests on a series of subjects. The first one is computers. So Amika, if you could give me 2 computers checks. And Twitch, I need life science, please, twice. Amika is 14. Twitch is 18. 23. All right, and Amika, I need 2 cultures and 2 engineerings, please. Oh shit, medicine, 1321. 1321. Orndor is 14 and 5. 14. 5. Correct. Medicine, Loki, medicine 7 and 11. 7. All right, and Twitch, I need 2 medicine, please. Amika, I also need 2 medicine from you. 19 and 9 is culture. 9. Twitch is 23. All right, and Twitch is killing it in the medicine department. Amika is 19. All right, and then engineering. I need 1 more engineering from Amika, please. 17. 17. Life science. All right, and Amika, I need 2 life science, please. All right, now this is back for everybody again. So they're asking you questions like, what 2 planets make up the diaspora? What destroyed the planet Eox? What are the major geological finds on Akaton? Which of the 9 packed worlds does not have a breathable atmosphere? So I need physical science from everybody twice, please. Doc is a 20. Physical science, all right. Twitch, 20 and 27. 20. All right, and I'm going to, for the next one, I'm going to ask what your two rolls are. Because with everybody rolling, it's more time consuming to find it now than it is just to ask you guys. Kita is Amika. Physical science. 8, 10. So your next questions are, what is a flip and burn? And what is a flyby? And which pedal do you press to make the ship go? Which pedal do you press to make the ship slow down? So I need 2 piloting checks from everybody, please. Reno Orendor is 19. 19. 6. 6. That's right. All right. And speaking of Doc, how did you do on your piloting checks? All right. And Amika, how did you do on your piloting? Thank you. And Orendor. All right. Yeah, we know who to keep away from the big red button. All right. And Twitch. And Loki. All right. And so the next question is, when you're on Castrovel, is it mostly hot or is it mostly cold? When you are very hot all day and marching through jungles, what do you want to do to make sure you don't die? When on Bertheta, trying to survive on the gas planet, how do you find true north? So I need 2 survivals from everybody, please. All right, so Loki, how did you do on survival? Twitch. All right, and Orendor. Amika. And the doc. All right, the question is exactly. Yeah, yes. That's right. Roughing it is having to cook yourself for yourself. All right, so you are then all brought out, and they take a look at the results and tell you that the transport will be here in 2 days' time. So get your affairs in order, and you will be picked up with the rest of your crew. So, Doc, is there anything you want to do? Give us a little insight as to your preparations, anything you do before you get ready to leave. All right, Twitch, anything else you want to do before you head out? All right. Um, Orindor, are there any goodbyes you want to say or anything else you need to do to finish up um, as you get ready to leave? All right. And Amika, any goodbyes you want to say or anything else you want to do as you're getting ready to leave? You do. All right. So, Loki, any last minute things you want to do? Goodbyes you want to say? All right. So all of you have seen ships and are familiar with how ships work. There are different sizes, everything from tiny, which are like one-man fighters or unmanned drones, all the way up to um, the Adari, which is if you look on the background there, it's a ship that's the size of a planet that the Kasatha live on, and everything in between. Um, the ship that comes for you is a very large ship and could probably fit 50 to 100 people in there. And you see emblazoned on the side of it, it says Midnight Core 2. And as you're welcomed aboard, you're given the option of either a small piece of metal that you wear at like a bracelet. And what it does is when you touch it, it shows the symbol of the Midnight Core. It is attuned to your DNA. So if anybody else wears it, then it won't do anything. So it is proof that you are a member of the Midnight Core. Or if you would like, you can get a subdermal implant, which is non-invasive, just simple injection, and allows you to then, at will all display the little hologram of the Midnight Core symbol from either the back or the inside of your wrist, whichever one you would like. Or for those of you who don't have wrists, the equivalent thereof. All right. All right, so Orindor and Doc have the holograms. Twitch is going to take the band. What about Amika? And Loki? All right. So you all are all on the ship. You see that there are different living quarters. You are assigned a tiny living quarter. It's about the size of a closet. It has a fold-down flat surface with a very thin microcord blanket slash little foam covering on it that's closest thing to a bed that you've seen. And so you can relax in there. There are also, as you're walking around, you see that there are different stations set up. And as you're brought on, you're told that you are requested to meet in the Eoxian meeting room at 1400. So most of the Pact world operates, even though they have their own, each planet has its own time frame and its own calendar and things like that. Most of the Pact worlds, when dealing with business or with things in general, they use Absalom Station as their guide for Absalom Station is similar to Earth in that it is a 24-hour cycle, 24-hour day, daily cycle, 365-day years cycle. And so even though, like on Bertheta, some of the moons can take up to 3 months to do one day, quote unquote, most things are based on Absalom Station time frame. So as 1400 approaches, you all make your way into this smaller room, and you see there are 4 other people there as you're sort of looking around. There is no furniture in this room. There are a couple blank screens on opposing walls. And this human steps in. He's looking at his mind to a blank, equivalent of a mobile phone. And he's as communicator. It's got a 3D screen above it, and he says, "Twitch and Doc Dade, Daddy, come with me." So the two of you step out. He shuts the door, and he says, "Doc, you're going to be the leader of this squad. If anything happens to the Doc, Twitch, you are taking over as leader. You can ultimate responsibility will fall on your heads." Communication with the head office or your recruiters or your task sergeants will come through you as well. Both of you will be receiving the information and then it will be up to you to share it with the rest of your crew. So then he opens the door, brings the two of you back in, says, "Welcome to the Midnight Corps, everyone. Take a look around this room. Odds are in a year, 2 of you will be dead, but those of you who survive and who decide to stay with the Midnight Corps, it's an excellent life. It's an excellent choice that you can make. Lots of profit to be had. Fame for those of you who want it. Midnight Corps has a lot to offer. First thing we're going to do is we need to test your survivability. Come with me. Very nice. All right, so if you want to open up your um, combat trackers, let me go ahead and load everybody up. All right, I'm just getting this last couple pushes of a button, and then I will share the map with you guys. So you guys are brought to a different section down into the lower deck. Off in the distance, behind some bulkheads and things, you hear different sounds. Different sounds like there's a martial arts or boxing ring or something going on. You do hear some weapons fire. You hear from behind one doors as you pass, you hear clanking or hammering, some sort of work being done. Where the hell is it? There it is. Think. Okay. All right, so you start taking some samples of DNA and hair follicles and um, all right, so you are brought into what looks like a firing range. And I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras real quick. Player screen, DM stuff. There we go. Oh, shoot. All right, and so if I forgot that with line of sight, if you guys cannot see, if you tweak, and let me move your character a little bit. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. Yeah, so you guys should have a map and you should be able to see everything now. Do you not have maps? Does anybody not have a map? All right, so things are zoomed in right now. And okay, you guys gonna fucking do this. Lock the tokens. So if you wish to, you can zoom out a little bit. You guys are all gathered up, sort of waiting at the beginning. Shift. And the all right, Doc. Who's going first? Escape. Fucking stop. Fucking. So if you zoom out a little bit, as you approach the first one, you will see there is a target. Go ahead and stay within. So you guys have to stay. There you go. So go ahead and target the target by holding Control and then clicking the T in front of you. And you may use any attack or spell or anything you would wish. Keep in mind there are 6 targets. So if you're going to use a spell, you'll only be able to cast however many spells you have per day. You're going to be judged on your attack and on your and on damage done. So make it count. Oh shit. Yeah. Sorry, stream. I forgot to do the second half of that. Yes, so you go ahead and take one shot. Give me just a second here. So it's 13. 13. Fucker. 13. Damage. 3. All right, who's next? So anybody, all of you who wish to, can go ahead and target the T if you'd like. So we got a 7. Correct. 7. All right, Twitch, go ahead. Mika's encumbered. Holy shit. Inventory. Okay, hold on. Just gotta go on shelves. She rolled a 2. Okay. All right, Loki. 2. 16. And Amika. 16. 4. Correct. And then hit control and yep, perfect. And then roll your attack. They will replace any ammo you use. So as you take each shot, if you're using ammo, you can feel free to unclick the little check. 18. 18. She pulls out a hunting rifle. All right. And the 2 who hit. Oh, no, actually, no, I take that back. All right, so an actual bullet comes flying out, slams into it. All right, so now a second target. So this one, you see there's actually a little critter back there. Let me expose the target to you. So you're always going to be looking for the T. So you have something that you can actually target. Target 2, target 1. Shoot, sorry, Amika, hold on a second. There we go. All right, so Doc, go ahead and take. There you go. You did. You sort of fiddling with your needler there. 16. Longer distance also makes it a little bit of a hassle. Amika, since you're there, go ahead. You also have. Let me see. Control. There we go. All right, go ahead. So the range is 75. So those of you look at your weapons. If it's medium, if it's beyond your first range increment, make sure you put a -2. All right. Well, a 21 on a total is definitely gonna hit. Kita. So that's 39. Oh shoot. 4. 39. 16. All right, so next, go ahead and Loki, since you're close, go for it. Damage is 3. Backspace. Space. All right, and so the sergeant says, Doc, Twitch, make sure you're watching. Part of being a good leader is knowing your crew. All right, so Loki, can you see the target in the back? Bobby, you there? Yep, I went ahead and targeted it for you. It's 75 feet. If it's beyond your first range increment, make sure you put -2. Orindor, you're going to be next. Correct, it'll be -4. All right, so a 1 on the dice is a miss. 17. Actually, that's 21. 21. Correct. 30, 60. 2, 7. 4, 11. All right, and Twitch. It's 20 feet. So total is 60 feet. You would not be able to throw your hand axe more than 60 feet. Your pistol. 20. What the hell is 20 sides? Hail pistol. Your pistol would be your better bet. It's the same range, but that one's actually a pistol. 20, 40, 60. So it's -6 from because it's 75 feet away. I mean -4, like Jingo was saying. 2, 4, 20 -2, 40, 60. 15. All right. All right, much better than before. KAC. Attack. Did you have it targeted? All right, so target 3, same distance. Amika, is your computer up again? All right, so go ahead and have Twitch. You go up first this time. Doc, whatever the hell you're targeting is not right. You have both 2 and 3 targeted. I did not. Correct. So there we go. Yeah, so I show it again. You target 3. I don't know what the hell that is. Twitch. Now we'll go ahead and call it good. I'm going to go ahead and drop this down. There we go. So there's a little, that was a miss. All right, so dock. So there's a toggle button that I toward the top of the page, guys, that has a target with a red slash through it. That'll clear your targets. Fancy if you have any questions on how that works. All right, and Loki and Orindor, if you want to go ahead and target them, get ready to go. So it's 6. All right, and Orindor. Good. Loki, you're going to be next. 15, Orindor. That is a hit. It's exactly what you needed. 26. All right, and your damage. Loki, go ahead and roll your attack. 1. Crushing it. 4. 4. 6. At least at 75 feet. All right. It is. Absolutely. All right. So now we have target 4. Doc, go ahead and lead us. And Kita, as soon as you have Amika up again, go ahead and take your shot. I've got it targeted already. You just need to click the attack. And that is a hit. Covered, untangled. Okay. All right. So, all right. So Loki, go for it. Target. Yes. Yep. There's the needle that the doc just threw down, so you can definitely use that. All right. So you should have that in the magnifying glass. Let's see if it's there. Uh, Gag. All right. So it's yes. So now the attack works. So go ahead and click on the little attack button. Correct. Psychokinetic hand. Oh, yes, she already has it. So the let me all right, try it now. And so Loki, in the future, the psychokinetic hand isn't actually an attack spell. So right, you can move an object. Yep, it allows you to propel the object as far as 15 feet in any direction from where it was. So he shot the needle, so you're able to pull it out, stick him back in. But typically that wouldn't be an attack spell. So just so you know, um, you wouldn't use that in a fight. All right. Click. All right, and so I make it let you target it now. There it is, 6. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and move over to 4. 6, 45. So that's the first time she's missed. All right, and Twitch, have you done 4 yet? I believe it is -4. I can't see the range from here. Let's see. 65, yes, so it's -4. Very nice. 17, 20, 19, 7, 14. And there's also a symbol at the top of the page. It's a red target with, I mean, a blue target with a red line. So it should be at the very top of the map. Okay. Correct. All right. Yeah, Twitch is right there. Twitch is there. All right. So target 5. Amika, go for it. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oren, go ahead and go for it. Oren. 20 and 4. 77. 17. Very nice. Another critical. You guys are starting to warm up a little bit now. 18, so that's 44. 3 and 4. All right, and Twitch, go ahead and go for the next one. Doc, you'll be up next. So I know it's a little dry, guys, and I'm sorry. We're gonna doing a little testing out your characters, seeing how they work, seeing how your attacks work. All right, and so what are you're shooting a Sub-Zero. So again, as blast comes out, and you see this section off to the right, a little frost appears. Doc. Fifth one for you, sir. 6 is Roberta. That's 25. All right, very good. That's a hit. So even the Doc is getting in on the action here. 51. So everybody is hit. And you notice that Amika has only missed once. Yep, go for it. Doc's getting out of the way. Very nice. So you notice this one's a little easier to hit because it's a lot closer. Seven. All right, and then the last, Loki, did you get number? Yep, go for it. All right, go ahead and take your shot. All right, and everybody go ahead and give me a culture check real quick. Five. Loki, 26. Orndog, Twitch, Mika. Who am I missing? Loki. All right, so everybody except Amika, you recognize these targets that you see now, especially now that you're looking at the last one, um, are different swarm creatures. So the swarm is this massive army that back about 120-ish, if I remember my history correct, after the gap, the Vesk, these big lizard people, were starting to take over several of the packed worlds, and we're starting to get everybody all upset when this massive armada of ships called the Swarm, because they're like bug-like creatures, entered the packed world and started destroying everything. So the Vesk and the packed worlds formed this pact to fight the Swarm, and that is why we have a pact in the packed world, to help defeat the Swarm. And that's what some of these targets are that you're seeing. All right, so finally, target number 6. Mika, you're there. Go for it. 6 is the last one. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I missing? Ron. All right, and Ron, looks like you disconnected. All right, so Twitch ran up. Twitch, go for it. Doc, you'll be next since you're right there. Sorry, 6 is not a hit. 31. All right, and Doc, you're up. Yes, we can hear you. Doc, it's your turn. Go ahead and take your shot. All right, and Loki. Okay. All right, 7 on the 4 on the dice is just not enough. 32. All right, so you come over and they we'll go ahead. Orindor, I'll go ahead and roll your last attack for you real quick. What weapon have you been using? Pulsecaster, okay. Oof, and you got a crit. I should roll for you more often. All right, so looking at the stats, there's no surprise Amika crushed it, followed by Orindor, and then the Doc with Twitch and Loki close behind. Sergeant says you guys may want to stick to close quarters combat for at least for a little while. You're taken to this large facility. It's a huge high-rise on Absalom Station. And you guys are brought in and told that you'll be taken to your ship in 3 hours. Do not wander off. If you are not at your ship in 3 hours, then you will be fined for transport costs of bringing you here. And then they take Doc and Twitch to the side, go over some paperwork with you, explain that make sure that you ask questions. Anything that you do is on your own for the most part, unless you have express permission from the Midnight Corps. So make sure Midnight Corps is not liable for anything that happens to you on these various missions. And they go over your fees. And they tell you your first mission is to bring a group of scientists out to a research facility called Far Portal Station. You all have communicators, so you can communicate with each other. Let me go ahead and switch cameras real quick. Boop, boop. Yes, you did. Nope. There it is. All right, so you have communicators. You guys can speak to each other during combat. Pretty much as long as you're on the same planet, and as long as the planet is civilized, you will be able to speak to each other using your communicators. So keep that in the back of your minds. They send you your mission briefing, which is basically you're taking 4 scientists to Far Portal Station. And you're then set loose with about 2 hours left before you're actually going on the ship. Would anybody like to do any kind of research on Far Portal Station? I'll type it in the chat for you. Except I spelled it wrong. Portal. There you go. Yeah, so the first one is how you spell it in Beletan. The second one is how you spell it in their common. So Far Portal Station. So go ahead and give me computer checks. For those of you who want to research, you're basically asking the infosphere which is the equivalent of like Google. It is not hard to find out information. It would be basically like asking Google about New York City. It's not hard to find information. Just a matter of wading through it to see what's interesting. So you find out 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and Amika, you're sort of like close by, and they'll share this information with you as well. So Far Portal is called that because nobody really knows where it came from. It's pre-gap, which means it's been there for longer than most people can remember. Nobody knows who built it, what it does. It's a large ring, a large metal ring that's floating in the corona of the sun. Right at the, well, I should say right at the edge of the sun, the outside, the very floating at the edge of the sun's corona, and it's a huge metallic gateway. And Far Portal Station, which is where you guys are headed, was built to study it and try to figure out what it is, what it does. There have been several expeditions that have gone through the portal. To date, nothing has ever come out. This ring is large enough to accommodate an entire starship. And they do know that it leads to the plane of fire. You can. But it doesn't look that different than anything else because it's on the corona of the sun anyway. So if you're looking inside it, you see fire. If you look outside, you see fire of the sun anyway. So, but yes, you can see through it. That's one of the things that Far Portal Station exists to find out. They don't know where it came from. That's right. So what it leads to the plane of fire, as we mentioned. Where you all are now is considered the material plane, and as I mentioned, there have been a couple expeditions from the material plane who have gone into it through the ring to the plane of fire, but none of them have come back. So there are several different research institutions that have banded together. They built Far Portal Station. It's a relatively small utilitarian research facility, close enough to study the strange magical signatures and attempt to try to understand the origins from it. The station itself has a spoke and wheel design, so similar to Absalom Station in look. It's this ring with these different things that jut out from it, and different docking ports that you can park at and stuff. Holds about 50 to 100 people if it was completely full. There are various corporations that have researchers on there, and you are taking 6 of them. I mean, 4 of them to Far Portal Station. So as the time passes, you all are led, you all get together, and you're led to one of the docks, and it opens up, and you see this long ship in front of you. On the side of it, it says Midnight Core 7. So they tell you that the doctors will be arriving in 2 hours' time. So familiarize yourself with the ship. assign your crew quarters, and get everything ready. They will expect to leave in 2 hours and 15 minutes. All right, and Amika, did you want to let the dock attune you? All right, so take a look at your stats. Um, those of you who have been with me before know the basics of Starship roles and things. There are a couple new ones. There's now a magic officer and sort of like a second in command. I forget exactly what it's called. But if you look at your, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and assign you guys to this ship over the next week. So next 2 weeks. So just as a reminder, the next time we're going to play this will be the 3rd of January. Next week, we're going to be going back to the other campaign. So as you're looking at the ship, those of you who are interested in these type of things, this is a small ship. Has the chassis of a light freighter. It has good piloting, maneuverability, so anybody, whoever's going to be the pilot, will have a +1 when they pilot it. It also will, you have to go one space and then you can turn. So it's got really good maneuverability. It has 20 shields. It has crew quarters and guest quarters. It has escape pods, 2 cargo holds. It has, on the front of it, there are 2 gyro lasers that are linked. So what that means is it's basically like one weapon. It just does double the damage. And then on either side, there are light torpedo launchers. So on the port and starboard side, there's nothing to your rear. So you want to make sure you're pointing, keep the pointy end toward the enemy. Yes. So I also shared the ship's stat with you. Please don't mess with anything. I don't know if you have access to it. So if you don't try to mess with it, you can look at it, but don't try to mess with it. And then once I get you set up in the party sheet, ships. I've slept and eaten since I did this last, so give me just a second. Boom. All right, so looking at your skills and such, it's Chief Mate is the other one, Magic Officer, Science Officer, Gunner, Captain, Engineer, and Pilot, of course. So let's take a look. I'm just going to go down the list as you are in the combat tracker. So Loki, where would you like to be? What position would you like to be in on the ship? There's Captain, Engineer, Gunner, Pilot, Science Officer, Chief Mate, Magic Officer, and Passenger. All right, and keep in mind this is not forever. You can change these things actually every round. All right, so give me just a second here. Why isn't this doing what I want it to do? Give me just a second. Amika. And just because one person is in that role doesn't mean somebody else can't do that. So if three of you want to be a pilot, that's fine. You guys can argue and figure out who's best and who wants to take turns and things. So, right. But for what we're doing now, I'm just throwing you on there. Give me just a second here. Main. Twitch. There we go. That's the mistake I made. All right, so I'm throwing everybody on the party sheet now. All right, so now I should be able to assign you. There we go. All right. Amika, where would you like to be? Come on, fucker. All right, and Oren? Amika. Why isn't this working? Oren, Magic Officer. Engineer, shoot. Oren door. Ships assigned. Ships. Assigned ships. Okay, so yes, one of Loki is there. Why the hell isn't it working? So give me just one more second. We'll get this. Son of a bitch. Not sure why this isn't working, guys. All right, so I got